Version 1.1 just in a few days left. It's gonna be the very first patch where we actually have no idea about the content and the new characters, because to be honest with you, version 1.0 is not really that exciting for me, probably because we have already seen everything in 1.0 from CBT2, and I was a CBT2 player, so it's not really a new thing anymore. Heck, even Jian and Yinlin are characters from CBT1 already, so they are like a year-old character. But Jingxi and Changli and Mon Firmament are gonna be the actual newest content that nobody, even beta players, have no idea about, so I'm really excited to see the things that Kuro have cooked for us here in version 1.1. First of all, obviously we're gonna have two new characters. I think the first banner is gonna be Jingxi first, and then the second banner is gonna be Changli based on the order of the image here. And the drip marketing, we already have Jingxi cinematic trailer, so I assume Jingxi is gonna be the first banner character. She is a spectral character with Brute Blade as her weapon. You can see the symbol here, which is a symbol for Brute Blade user. And then we also have Changli, which is a fire character with sword as her weapon. So if you want to pre-farm right now, like the ascension materials and the skill materials, you can start already because we already know their element. And for skill materials, since they are tied to the type of weapon the characters are using, which for this case you should farm for wave 1 Residue if you are aiming for Jingxi, and metallic drip if you want to farm for Changli, because Changli is a sword user. Next, in version 1.1, we're gonna have a new area, which is Mon Firmament. There will be new puzzles, new map interaction, we can skiing now, or should I say sliding now, holy shit. And then we also have new monsters, which then obviously new echoes. For the new echo, so far from what I've seen, there is no new set effects yet or sonata effects yet. So basically what we get instead are more options for cost 3 and cost 1 echoes basically. So for example, if we wanna farm cost 3 echoes for spectral element because we wanna farm for Jingxi, right? Then we have one additional cost 3 echo here that we can farm, which is like Crusher on top of Rocksteady, Silent Heron, and Auto Puppet Scout, which is really good, I guess, to make it easier to get the stats you want for cost 3 echo, because now we have even more numbers of them. Not only cost 3 and cost 1 echo, we also have one additional cost 4 echo here, which is Jue itself. I assume Jue is gonna be the new weekly boss here based on the threat level, which is Calamity, the same threat level as Dreamless and Bellborn, the weekly bosses that we currently have. Other than new characters and new area, of course we're also gonna have new events. For version 1.1, we're gonna have 5 new events here. The first event is gonna be an exploration event, and then we also have photo collecting event, and then new content for Depths of Elusive Realm, and then another combat related event, probably like Alloy Smelt here, and then the last one is Lolo campaign, which is about commission event. The details about the gameplay or how to do this event are currently unknown, so we will see about that later when it gets released. I might make more guides about it if the events are too hard for skill issue players again, who knows, but we will see about that later. But on top of those content that I already mentioned before, we are not done yet here, because we also have quality of life improvement in version 1.1, and there are a lot of things they cook here. So in version 1.1, we're gonna have log to see dialogue. So for example, if you misclick and you miss a dialogue, you can now just check the logs again and see the dialogues again, which is really good. And in my opinion, it should be a feature since release, but I guess it's better late than never. We can also upgrade our tuners from blue to purple and then purple to gold, which is really good because I have like thousands of purple tuners, sitting being useless and nobody use purple echo anyway. We also gonna have level 21 databank that guarantees you to get gold echo upon dropping, which is really huge because with this, no more cringe purple echo, but the union level requirement to get databank 21 is still unknown. I assume it's probably gonna be union level 50 because that is the same requirement like how we unlock databank level 20 in union level 40. So if you want to rush your union level to level 50, I think the only reason to do that is to get your databank level to level 21, because anything else like material drops, task field, basically everything is still sucks. Like I'm in union level 51 right now, so this is based on my experience. There is no huge difference between union level 40 to level 50, so in my opinion it's not really worth it to rush your way to union level 50 unless you are looking for databank level 21, which is again, this is still in my speculation that the requirement would be union level 50. And then we also gonna have layered map here, so now we can see low ground, middle ground, and high ground separately. I think this is basically for Mon Firmament and future map only, based on how it's written here. So for the current area that we have right now in 1.0, like Jinzhou, Desert Island, and everything are probably still gonna use the same map version, but still, I guess it's better than nothing. And I think as for 1.0, there isn't that much complexity for the map. Of course, there's a cave here and there, but once you know the entrance, you just simply mark it, so it's not really a problem for me. There are a lot of other small improvements as well here, but for me, it's not really a big deal, because the one that I've mentioned here I think are the one that matters the most. But if you want to read it completely by yourself, I will just give the link down below in the description. Make sure to check it out. Last but not least, one of the most important info here that I want to make sure nobody is missing out is the device requirements, especially for the storage. So for 1.1, if you are a mobile user for Android and iOS, it is expected to have 15GB in your storage, while for PC, it is expected to have 25GB. So it's not really a huge difference between version 1.0 and version 1.1, because this is the exact same storage requirement when we first download the game. So I assume the new content won't cause a huge size increase, but let's not put our guards down here, because again, we're gonna have a new area, new content, new story, means more voice and more cutscenes. So obviously it's better to prepare more than the requirement. I would say probably 5 or 10GB more for your storage, because there is no way the size is gonna stay the same after the updates. Also, if you notice here, they specifically say for PC users, it is recommended to install your game into your SSD, and this is actually a huge improvement for your game performance. I put my game on my HDD before and it was stuttering a lot, but now I already put it on my SSD. It's been running for a few weeks already and it runs really well. So if you haven't do this yet, just try to move it into your SSD. I think it's gonna solve 99% of your performance issue. But still, I think we shouldn't do this in the first place. I think QoL should just really optimize the game more, because I've installed most of my games on my hard drive on my HDD and they run really well. And I'm not talking about Genshin, Star Wars or your first game only here. I'm also talking about AAA titles here like Nier, Elden Ring, Sekiro, Monster Hunter World, Monster Hunter Rise, and they run really well. So it just doesn't make any sense for Wuthering Waves here to be the only game that should run on an SSD, especially since Wuthering Waves also still use the older generations of Unreal Engine, which is Unreal Engine 4. Not Unreal Engine 5, and Unreal Engine 4 is a game engine from 2014. And to be honest with you, I won't blame them for not using Unreal Engine 5. This is probably because by the time QoL developed Wuthering Waves, Unreal Engine 5 wasn't even exist back then. Unreal Engine 5 was released in the middle of 2022, and that is the exact same date as Wuthering Waves technical test. So you can already tell that the development for Wuthering Waves first began like way earlier than that, probably like in 2020 or something. So yeah, I really hope they improve the optimization for PC and also especially for mobile players. But yeah, that's all about the video. So what do you guys think about version 1.1? Is it good? Is it underwhelming? Let me know in the comment section below. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I see you guys next time.